will go ahead and jump to another figure, now working on a different figure that I'm modifying independent of the previous. So in this case, we're going to again change the colors of some of these parts, draw attention to the small little gasket here on this plug. Since it's a really small component, I want to draw an inset. So an inset, think of it as like a detailed view from a drawing. So we simply click on the part, we drag right off of it, and it creates a zoomed in focal view of that component. This inset is also dynamic. So as I drag and position it, it will change and update in that inset view itself. I can also change the shape of the inset view. I can modify many other properties about that inset view, the size of the focal point, weight of the lines, leaders, halo effects, and so forth. So here we will go ahead and apply a sweeping leader and give it a certain thickness value. And once I create those insets, I can also annotate within the inset itself. So here I'm using a special callout, which is pulling metadata directly from the part and inserting that metadata into the balloon. So we'll go ahead and change some of the properties about the annotation. I'm going to add some arrows. We'll change the label size. We're going to change the label shape, and maybe we'll align those labels up with one another. Lastly, I'm going to go ahead and place a note. You can also place in freeform notes. So as I type, you can see the note updating on the screen. Again, we can change everything about the note, the font size, the shape, if there's any leaders, halo effects, so on and so forth, even down to the colors. Perfect. All right, so one of my other favorite things is the standard symbols library. So these symbols are all 3D, and you can go ahead and create your own symbol too if you want to add those to a library and deploy those out to all of your end users. In this case, we're going to go ahead and put in this little warning symbol, and this is just to draw more attention and detail to the note for the end user or the end consumer. So I'm going to pop over to our next figure. Within this one, we're going to start creating some explode states. So these are very common types of illustrations that would support an illustrated parts list type of output. So as I select on the geometry, I can simply use the Copilot and start exploding the parts outward. And you can notice that I can drag out single parts, or I can choose multiple parts at one time. So once I've created my explode state, set everything exactly where I want it, I can start then creating my explode lines. Selecting on that explode line tool creates a dynamic explode line back to the default location of that part. So as I click and move that part around, notice that explode line will move with that part, and I can control how it reacts with other components in that state. So here, let's go ahead and drag this explode line outward a little bit. So make sure to go through that part, and we'll complete the illustration here with some callouts. Perfect. All right, so I've got that set up the way I like it. So in this next figure on the left, we're going to talk a little bit more about some of the more advanced things that you can do with explode lines. So since those explode lines are dynamic, it allows us to interact with them in different ways and control how they pass through other parts. So we will create another quick explode state. Notice if I want to drag and move parts around, I simply interact directly in that visualization pane. Or again, I can select those parts within the bill of materials on the left-hand side of the screen. So we'll go ahead and grab the last set of components here, maybe all the discs in the parking brake, and we will explode those outward. Once I've created that final explode state, I'm going to go ahead and create an explode line again. I would simply select on that part, select the explode line tool, and it's going to create a path back to the default part location. In this case here, I can modify the starting and ending positions of the explode line. So I'm going to go ahead and change the new ending point and starting point of the explode line just by selecting on other components. And then I can easily add in a second explode line and path that through my other parts to create a more advanced sweeping explode line.